Hi, my name is Calista and this is my skills demo video. The aim of this video is to demonstrate client education on the specific area of fatigue management for patients with cancer. Fatigue may be a common symptom experienced by patients with cancer, but it is also an area that can be applied in other areas of practice, such as with patients with chronic back pain or even after stroke. So the core OT skills that can be applied to other areas of practice include facilitating that understanding of client condition and also that interpersonal communication and client engagement. In order to achieve this long-term goal to keep traveling, Steve identified fatigue as a significant barrier affecting his occupational engagement. So in this video, I will be demonstrating the skill of providing fatigue management education. Fatigue management education is an ongoing process, and this video will portray the initial stages of providing that education and support. Hi Steve, my name is Calista. I'm the occupational therapist. How are you going today?
I'm good, not too bad. I've been feeling tired, and yeah.
And that was something that you mentioned previously as well.
Yes.
When we looked at setting your goals and looking at what you did in a day, you mentioned that that's a concern because fatigue has been impacting your day-to-day activities and doing some of the bigger things like going back to work and traveling again. So as part of your occupational therapy with me, we can look into providing that support to returning to things that you want to do and you need to do. So specifically looking at your goals, some of the things that you want to do would be returning to work and returning to traveling. Is that right?
Yeah.
And so with my input as your occupational therapist, I'll be able to help you understand your experience of fatigue and to look at how we can put in place some strategies to manage that. Would you be happy for us to discuss that and look at some strategies?
Yep, sure.
Great. So before we start, can you tell me a bit about your experience of fatigue? Things like what does it feel like, when does it affect you the most, and maybe some of the things that you're doing to manage it.
Yeah. Throughout a day, when I woke up in the morning, is the peak of my energy reserve. I feel like it's better than compared to the afternoon. But during the day past, I feel like my energy is running out, and I just feel tired. I feel sleepy. I feel weak, and lack of motivation. I just want to lay down, take a sleep, take a nap, and yeah, that's what I feel during my day.
So you have most energy in the morning, and then you find that decreases as the day progresses.
Yeah.
And what does it feel like in your fatigue? So you mentioned that you feel sleepy. Is there anything else that you feel?
Yeah, and I feel like it's hard to breathe sometimes, and I feel painful. Actually, I feel painful all the time. And for example, in the evening when my wife finish her work, I want to have a walk with her in the park, but I can't. I feel lack of energy. I can't do anything.
Okay, so you generally feel weaker and more tired.
Yeah.
And when you do feel weak and tired, what are some things that you're doing at the moment to manage that?
At the moment, I just take a nap I hope it will restore my energy, but it seems doesn't help.
Yeah. Okay. And that's a common experience that a lot of patients with cancer experience. Fatigue is a common side effect of cancer and treatment you're receiving. And sometimes in that experience of fatigue, you'll find that resting doesn't always help. So everyone's experience of fatigue is different, and that's why it's important for us to understand what you do in the day and to try out different strategies to understand what works best for you. And that's what we hope to do over the next few weeks as we look at your fatigue, run some assessments, and get you to fill up a diary so we understand what you're doing, how it affects your energy levels, and then we can look at implementing some strategies. And like you mentioned, you'll feel weak and drowsy as part of that fatigue, and you'll find that that's different from everyday tiredness. So maybe before your cancer, when you felt tired, taking a break helps. Taking a short 5-minute break would, restore some of the energy. Doing something else would help restore the energy as well. But if you're doing the same things to manage that at the moment, you may find that it's not very helpful. So we can look into different things that you can put in your day to manage that. But before we go into that, maybe did you have any questions about fatigue or?
I want to ask, is that my fatigue come from the treatment what I have received, or it's come from the cancer I have, or it's come from the spread of my cancer?
So you mentioned previously that you felt breathless and the pain, that it affects your energy levels as well and your experience of fatigue. And that's all these different things as a result of your cancer would affect your energy levels. So the pain, the breathlessness you feel, the lack of motivation, changes to your sleep, all these things will affect your fatigue experience directly, and that's because of your cancer. But with your cancer treatment, because your body is reliant on red blood cells to produce energy, and your cancer treatment affects the amount of red blood cells your body has, you'll find that your body is producing lesser energy. So it's a bit of both, the cancer and the treatment you're receiving, that will affect what we call your battery size. So everyone has different battery sizes, but also different battery levels in a day. So battery size refers to your capacity, the amount of energy that you can spend. And we all have different battery sizes. So the amount of the amount of energy that you can spend in a day would be different from the amount I have to spare. And two of us, we can be doing the exact same things in the exact same way, but at the end of that activity, you may find that you have much lesser energy than I have. And that's because we have different battery sizes. And then with battery levels, that's looking at how that changes over the day. And things like taking a nap, doing something energizing, like going for a walk, or maybe even just staying in and doing a bit of reading, that can change your battery levels. But like I said, everyone's experience of that is different. It's understanding what changes your battery levels and understanding how much you can do in a day that will help us to be able to manage that so that you can achieve your goals. And because of your cancer, you'll find that your battery size has decreased, and this means that you'll have smaller capacity to get through a typical day. So because your battery size has decreased, we'll need to look at adjustments we can make to the things that you're doing in the day or how you're doing it, so that you're spending your energy more effectively and more efficiently.
So you've mentioned to adjust my the usage of my energy throughout my day, but it seems like I didn't do much in my day at home. But any adjustments you will do on me?
So looking at thinking of strategies we can implement, just very generally speaking, we can look at planning ahead. So thinking about, before you actually start a day, thinking about what you want to do in a day, in a week, so that we can plan for days where you have to spend less energy in the morning or in the afternoon, maybe so you can take a walk in the park with your wife in the evening. So that's planning ahead and thinking of how you're going to spend your energy as you think about the different things that you want to do over the week. But also looking at what we call pacing. And as part of pacing, we will integrate rest breaks. Sometimes you'll feel like you have a lot of energy to start off the day and you want to do a lot of different things. But by implementing rest breaks into that, even though you feel like you don't need it, that will get you through more activities that you want to be doing. And in the long run, that builds up your battery size so that you can have more capacity to do more things. So that's generally speaking. And for us to be able to implement the right strategies, we'll be completing an assessment together to understand in detail your fatigue, but also to measure your progress so we know if it's working or not. And I will also get you to help me fill up a fatigue diary. So we know specifically how the things that you're doing in a day affects your energy levels. Because that's our
So that is the aim of fatigue diary.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yep.
Okay.
So I'll give you the fatigue diary, and you can fill this up for me over this 1 week before the next time I see you.
Okay.
And then we can go from there, and we'll finish the fatigue assessment as well.
Okay.
And then we can get down to implementing some strategies specific for you.